So guys, this is going to be the Destiny House of Wolves PVE review. Now split up the PvP and the PvE. So please feel free, if you want to check the PvP the PvP video, please click on the link below. Now, I've got to give Bungie a lot of credit for a lot of the stuff they've done this. They really have picked up the game. It's a lot harder for a start, which is great. Crota at the end there on normal mode was just insanely easy towards the end. Even hard mode, we weren't having any real problems with it much. But this is really good. And I'll get to the Prisoner of Elders in a sec. Now, this is obviously a very early on review. This is only after House of Wolves has been out for about 3 or 4 days. So we haven't completed everything yet. But so far, I really like it. So let's get into the review. So first of all, the missions. Good thing about the missions is that there's new enemies, there's new missions themselves, there's new objectives. Although they are a lot of rehash of the old ones, except for the whole capturing of the guy. That was completely new. I love that. But a lot of it seems to be go kill these people in this sort of section. And it's the same thing as what it was with the old expansion and also the old game. So obviously mixing up and putting in new objectives and completely new missions would be a great thing, Bungie, if you could do that for us. But yeah, that was the only one with the missions I really had a bit of an issue with, was this, okay, so we're still going after and killing the same guy. It's just a different guy. And the bosses in the missions themselves aren't any different than what we were hunting already before. They're still, it's still Fallen, it's still Vex. There's no new skins. It's just an old skin with a new level buff, or he's a bullet sponge. But hey, look, guess what? It looks like the same guy that you just killed 400 times before. So obviously putting in bosses where the bosses actually look different, that would be a good thing. And I know they've done that with the Prisoner of Elders. I'm not talking about POE at the moment. I'm talking about the missions. So guys, Bungie putting in new missions with new bosses at the end, that would be a good thing. And I know they did with Scarlus, the Kel of Kells, who's on top of the grav lift. He was a little bit different, but he was still a Fallen boss. He looked like all the other Fallen Vandals or Fallen bosses, or the other Fallen that we'd gone after before. He was just a bigger version of it with a bigger gun. But at least I suppose it was a little bit different. The missions themselves, apart from that, were great. I really love the Scorch Cannon. I love the new enemies. They've given all the Shanks, or the Skanks, an upgrade, making them explode, and some have machine guns that don't explode, and etc, etc, etc. They've put the walkers back in the game a little bit more now. There's 2 or 3 missions that you go through where you actually come across a walker. It's actually really good. And also they've also gone through and they've also put in some obviously some new rewards and stuff like that, which are obviously interesting as well. A lot of the rewards I got were like these amethyst things that you give to Krelix, or whatever his name is, and obviously he can go through and he'll cash them in for 2,500 or 3 or 5,000 glimmer. I do worry about why we're getting 5,000 glimmer from one guy. Obviously the glimmer is going to be a lot more sought after than previously, because they're giving you a reward of 5,000, then obviously you're going to be spending it. Apart from the missions, the Reef social space. Now, I really like the Reef. It's very beautiful. There's their own version of the ball in the Reef. There's also the light that you can turn on and off. Please see the description below for those 2 videos. They're quite fun. And also the Reef is very beautiful. I really wish that sometimes they put guardrails around things, because my fellow teammates seem to want to push me over the edge when I'm AFK. But apart from that, it's a lot smaller than what it used to be in the tower. I like to think that the tower's basically been cut into thirds, and we've got a third of it. Now, obviously there's doors so they can do expansions later, etc, etc, etc. And they've also dropped the player count down too, from, I think it was around 12 to about 8. Now, I think that was more of a memory issue, which is not such a bad thing. Obviously, better memory. Obviously, the faster the game runs, better for us. But it also makes it a lot harder joining your mates who are in tower now, because while you used to have up to so many slots, now you've only got X amount of slots. And it's a lot harder to get people to jump in when people are loitering in tower. But anyway, you can always just wait for orbit and wait for your mates to get orbit before you join them, I suppose. Now, getting to POE, or Prisoner of Elders. Prisoner of Elders is a lot of fun, and I am really, really happy with it. I'm not going to say it's better than a raid, because it's impossible to compare the two. But I do like what they've done with Prisoner of Elders, and I'm not that disappointed that we don't have a raid yet. Now, as Bungie have also said, they are working on putting out a raid. Whether we have to pay for it or not later, I don't know. But at the moment, the Prisoner of Elders is a lot of fun. Now, I've done the Prisoner of Elders 28, 32, and we've started on the 34. Now, obviously, this review is earlier on, so we haven't got to the 35 yet. But from what I've seen with the 34, and from my mates and teammates and that who have tried to do the 34, it is insane. And they love it. Everybody is loving Prisoner of Elders. So Bungie, if you're listening to this, congratulations, you've done an amazing job on Prisoner of Elders. I love the way it's worked. I love the way the fact that there is there's no checkpoints between waves 1, 2 and 3, that you actually have to complete a section before you get a checkpoint. I love that. It's a little bit annoying, which is great because it's challenging. And it's not just like the fact of, oh yeah, okay, we've done a wave, we got a checkpoint, so if we die now, then we can go back and just load that checkpoint, or we can just get from that checkpoint. So that's great. It's actually something that we were talking about earlier on before House of Wolves came out. I love the difficulty, I love the guns, I love the fact that the enemy bosses are so tough. I love the fact that we were in there doing the level 32 strike, and we were level 32s, and we were absolutely almost getting smashed by the rockets that were firing from the Cabal. So guys, look, Bungie have done an amazing job on it. If you haven't had a chance to jump into Prisoner of Elders, please definitely do. It is an amazing thing. I don't know what the 35 strike is going to be like. I imagine it is going to be insane. But obviously at the end of the day, obviously as other expansion come out, I think Comet's supposed to be the next one that comes out, then obviously the 35 strike is going to get easier and easier as we get higher and higher, like for example Crota is at the moment. Now, apart from the Prisoner of Elders, overall, look guys, I am really happy with House of Wolves. I think Bungie have done an amazing job. Sure, I would like a little bit more variety in the bosses that we kill on the missions. I do think that Petra and House of Judgment's rankings are going to be a bit more of a grind, like they were with Eris, from Crota. But at the end of the day, look, I'm really happy with everything, with how it looks. Bungie, please put guardrails in the tower to stop my teammates from pushing me off the edge when I'm AFK. But apart from that, guys, look, I'm really happy with the review. As for a score, I'm probably going to say, I'd hate to stay and look, I hate to start giving things 8.5 like other companies do, but guys, look, this one realistically probably an 8.3 to 8.5 on the scale. It's not perfect, far from it, and it is an expansion. It is a little bit disconcerting, the fact that from what our reports are coming out, that this is what the game was supposed to be like, and compared to Destiny now, Destiny does feel like it's been cut up and sold in DLCs. So obviously that is a little bit of a sour taste, because obviously you're looking back now thinking, well, this is what this game was allegedly supposed to be like. So I'm a little bit disconcerted about that. And anybody that doesn't have the DLC, guys, it is going to be, once you start playing the DLCs, you do feel like you've got half a game. I was playing with one of my mates the other day, one of my admins, actually one of my best mates, my brother from another mother, big shake to GameStorm, and he turned around and he said to me now, he says, I feel sad because the game I've been playing for the past 6 months feels like half a game. It feels like a quarter of a game even. So guys, that is a little bit disconcerting. Apart from that, guys, look, Bungie done an amazing job with it. Runs very well. There are a bit of a connection issues. We're obviously getting dropouts and everything like that. But that's obviously something they can fix at a later date on their servers. So look, realistically, I say 8.3 as a review score. And guys, if you haven't got House of Wolves, definitely worthwhile. Put the gameplay in the video for you, so please feel free to watch the video and check out your gameplay. Have a great day, guys. Enjoy.